When I think of homelessness, I never thought of women. I've always seen homeless men.
One thing that I realized was when you're not faced with a certain situation, you don't think of things in certain ways. I think most women can relate to having accidents out in the street or like something happening unexpectedly, but when you have, the means to go fix it, to go, get maybe extra underwear or just go run and grab and buy some menstrual hygiene products, you don't really think about it in the same way as someone who maybe has to use newspaper or socks or other objects that would otherwise negatively affect them in their lady parts.
My experience, my expectation actually, let me start with that. I don't know, I expected there to be a lot more women coming out to receive, so it was interesting to see the balance. I was expecting everyone to be there, knowing that it is a need, a great need, and the entire time leading up to the distribution event, I kept thinking about women who don't only have a regular cycle, but they have heavy flow, excessively an abnormal flow, and what would they do and what do they do in that type of situation?
When I think of homelessness, I never thought of women, so forth. I've always seen homeless men. So the thought of your monthly cycle and being homeless never came to mind. And being a part of the initiative, seeing regular women like myself, that was humbling. And to imagine what these women had to do to improvise for their supplies, really heartbreaking.
At the distribution for the initiative, the Red Wrap initiative, there were a few women who it's clear they were living an alternative lifestyle. I noticed some of them, I don't know if they were embarrassed or ashamed to come up to the table to actually sign for some of the products, but they were reluctant to. There were a few of them who were really brave and came up and they were like, I'm good with myself. But that was very interesting to me and a great observation, because even though they're living an alternative lifestyle, there's still core biology that kind of brings them back to this part of themselves that's feminine, that we all have in common. So that was just an interesting perspective. I also noticed that I can't forget this woman. She had endometriosis. She was brave enough to come forward and say, I really need very thick pads because of my situation. And I found that was very brave of her, and she, you could tell that she had other symptoms and issues that she had to work through because of endometriosis. It made me think of the mission, Red Wrap's mission, the fact that the objective was to serve women with reverence and, to offer them support. And the idea of reverence keep coming back to me, because she came and she asked and we were able to supply her with what she needed. That was really it. I felt it way down here, so I wanted to speak to that. Was part of my observation, but I could also feel the women wanting more interaction with us as well. I felt like they came, they collected, but many of them didn't leave immediately. It may be because it was lunchtime, but I felt like there was this yearning to also have some sort of level of communication and dialogue with us.
I think sometimes there's a reluctance to go and take something for free, even though there's like that stereotype that people, like when they have something free, they just kind of come and grab it. That might be true, stereotype or not, but I think there's also that group that exists where they might be reluctant to just go grab something, and especially because of the type of product that we were giving away. You know, when we read a lot of things about menstrual hygiene and like ending period poverty, there is a stigma around bleeding every month or hemorrhaging every month. And it's not just in, you know, third world or poor countries, it's here too. Dealing with fibroids and like heavy bleeding, I don't know if I could imagine. I couldn't even imagine that. Like, I don't know if it's fair to say like, oh, I know what you're going through. Like, yes, we all bleed as women, but I don't know that it's fair to say I know what you're going through just because, you know, I have a monthly cycle too, because I don't know what a person is going through, because I don't have that added layer of stress of, you know, not knowing where my next meal is coming from, or not having a consistent place to lay my head at night.
It will really cost you for a 1 or 2 month supply of products. Okay, wait, hold on. $350?
Yeah. $350 for 2 months? For 2 months.
How much?
I put everything on $35.
What would you do with $35 instead of having to be worried about purchasing that?
Honestly, a shape up, deodorant. I need some deodorant for my hygiene. Yeah.
Right.
Socks, some sneakers,
Is
but
that
not with $35. But I would say socks.
So what that works?
So that will help a lot.
Thank you.
That was
But the next initiative, as the Red Wrap stat shows, that the feminine hygiene products are the least donated to shelters, there's always going to be a need for us to continue this mission.
I think there were things that we were able to like pick up and learn from. So like when we do the next Red Wrap event, you know, there's a little bit more involvement and encouragement from the shelter itself.
In terms of the very next initiative or the very next drive and expectations, one of the things that could happen that may increase turnout on the day of distribution could be some sort of initial interaction with the woman who would distribute there. So that's where when women come in, they're familiar with the faces. They're familiar with the mission. They know why we're there, and they know what to expect. They know which faces to go to, and we've built, even if it's just a simple rapport with them. Some of these women are, you know, they've built up barriers, and we have to understand that when someone comes in to share with them, one of the things they may do first is this. They may create a wall. They may decide, okay, I don't need to go. They may not have known. A lot of women, it seemed as if they were quite happy with presentation as well, because no one gave them something just in a bag, right? It was concealed, and I think it showed respect for them. So going forward, to show even more respect and to open up the floodgates of communication with them and to allow them to let down their barrier, maybe we can show up a week before and just, you know, give a little talk about what we're going to do on that day and who we expect to see and what sign up would be like and what their expectations could be, what they will, you know, receive in the package.
My name is Chief Yuya, and I'm the founder of Our New Life Global Ministries. We are the host experience and ministry for the Red Wrap Initiative. The Red Wrap Initiative is this amazing project that I launched with the aspirations and the ambitions to service displaced women throughout the New York City area, and then eventually translate that same project and that same template and experience on a national level. And what we're basically doing is we're providing support for women who have lost shelter or who are currently living in shelters or living on the streets and have been displaced and dislocated from their own natural sheltering and their own personal shelters, but providing the support that they need throughout their monthly cycles. You know, not only products for menstruation, but products just for women's support in general and for feminine hygiene in general. So the Red Wrap is it's a beautiful experience, and we have some wonderful volunteers who have come through. We've had some wonderful people come through and donate not only time, not only energy, not only feminine hygiene products, but even just we've been able to establish a pretty awesome think tank around just servicing often underserved population. So Red Wrap is an initiative that really sparks a conversation and sparks a thought process around the special needs and the special situations that displaced women go through. And even though women account for 1 out of every 4 homeless people in America, their situations are very unique in that there's a measure of support that they need on a physical and biological and chemical level that is only really exclusive to their gender pool. So we're really looking to provide some balancing support and then eventually even branch out and go a little further in terms of doing more distribution events, more educational events, and providing greater breadth and scope of support for those women. I send my heartfelt appreciation on behalf of our New Life Global Ministries and the Red Wrap to all of our volunteers, to all those who sent in supplies, to all those who offered sponsorship and gave sponsorship, and be ready for the next one coming very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much.